Thank you. So insincere. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you all so much for coming out tonight. I'm glad you're all here. Hope you all got here safely. I took an Uber to get here tonight, and my driver talked to me the entire way. That's so annoying, isn't it? Yeah, the whole ride, he was like, "This is not an Uber, get out of my car." 1 star. But I get it. It's a stranger in your car. You want to make conversation. You want to get to know somebody. We'll do it too. We get into an Uber. We'll talk to our Uber driver sometimes. But why is it when we do, the only thing we can ever think of to say is, "So, how long have you been driving for Uber?" That's a really difficult question to ask without it coming across like, "So, when did you give up?" My driver was really cool about it, though. He said, "I've been driving about 2.5 years. What do you do?" I said, "I'm a stand-up comedian." He said, "Oh, how long have you been a stand-up comedian?" Touche, Marcus, touche. Yeah, pulled a little Uno reverse card on me with that one. They have these driverless Ubers now. Have you seen those? They're called Waymos. Yeah, because they're way more dangerous than an actual Uber. Crazy. I am Dylan White, and I am white. But I spell my name differently. The privilege is silent. Yeah, having the last name White and actually being white means I'm never going to be cool in my life, ever. I want to be cool, I'm not going to be. I will never be cool. Or down. Or dope. Hip. Hype, fly, fresh, flossy, fierce, fire, fat with a PH. Gucci, lit, litty, sick, slick, swag, slay, solid, tight. The goat, the man, the bomb. Poppin', drippin', banging off the chain, off the hook, on fleek, all that. I'll never have Riz or the 411. I'll never be able to chill in the crib with my shorty. And I will definitely never be able to roll back to the hood and spit bars over sick beats for the G-folk and the West Side. You know what I'm saying? Having the last name White, it has some unexpected disadvantages. Like when my daughter was born, she was in the NICU, the neonatal intensive care unit. And when you have a baby in the NICU, you have to buzz into the nurse's station to let them know what baby you're there to see. Yeah, I wasn't thinking. I just went, "Hi, I'm here to see the white baby." So now I'm on a list. Yeah, but I became a proud father 2 years ago. Thank you. Thank you. I've been a father for over 20 years. I just became a proud father 2 years ago. No, I'm kidding. I love my kids. When they were growing up, we didn't spank our kids. I didn't hit my kids, and it shows. No, so I make up for it now. No, I'm kidding. They're bigger than me. I can't do that. We didn't. When we're naming the kids, that's a hard thing to do because you want to give them good names. We didn't do that cute thing where like parents will give their kids like the same initial. We didn't want to do something like that. Like, "Hi, this is my son Xavier. My daughter Xanadu. These are the twins, Xerox and Xerox." Rich people will name their kids things that sound like cars, right? Like Porsche and Bentley and Mercedes. We thought, let's go that route. So we named our kids Kia and Nissan. Yeah, Nissan Sentra White. It was really great when they were in school and it would be like last name first, first name last. Like, "Is there a white Nissan Sentra here?" Their mother and I are no longer together. We got divorced a while ago. And look, I don't want to be one of those comics who talks trash about their ex. I don't want to be. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that because the judge said I can't. No, it's fine. Got divorced a while ago. After a few months of being divorced, I had to start dating again. Well, I didn't have to, just my carpal tunnel was getting bad. All right. I was on the dating apps, and I'm sure you're familiar with some of these. There's Tinder and Match, and I love the name of this one, Plenty of Fish. Yeah, you know why they call it that? Because there's the saying, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Yeah. Have you seen some of the fish in the sea? There are monsters down there. You know what else there is in the sea? Trash. There is plenty of trash in the sea. And look, I know, I am not the best catch. I know what I look like. I look like you bought Kevin James off of Wish.com. I was on OkCupid. I thought that was a great name for that app because every time it matched me with somebody, it was like, OkCupid. They all started to look alike after a while, too, when you're just swiping through. It's just like blonde, brunette, redhead, blonde, brunette, redhead. And I got to thinking we needed a better name for redhead because you get blonde, sounds very light and lovely and ethereal. Brunette, very dark and exotic and mysterious. Redhead. What if we called the other one something like that? You're not gonna go out with a white head or a black head. Redhead sounds like you picked at it and it's irritated. Yeah, somebody suggested that I go on the app OurTime.com. That's for seniors. I'm in my 50s, but I'm not a senior yet, okay? And I get what they're trying to do, our time. They're trying to say, hey, forget the kids, this is our time. But I think it was just because it was too long to type out OurTimeIsAlmostUp.com. It might not be too late.com. It's either this or die alone.com. Yeah, so I matched with this woman and I asked her what she wanted to do on our date. She said she wanted to go clubbing. I thought that sounds terrible because I like baby seals. But we didn't. It turns out that's not what she meant. She likes baby seals too. We went to dinner. I found out she's a vegan and I did not believe her because it wasn't the very first thing she said to me. And she didn't keep constantly bringing it up no matter what the topic of the conversation was. Vegans will do that. Have you noticed any vegans here tonight? Awesome. So, vegans will do that. They'll bring it up no matter what the conversation is. Just like, yeah, last weekend I just hung around my house. I just vegged out. I eat a lot of vegetables because I'm vegan. I did have to go to the Apple store. I eat a lot of apples because I'm vegan. I also had to renew my car insurance. I'm vegan. It's like they're Groot. It's all they can say. It's like, I am vegan. I am vegan. She made it worse, too. I asked her, so what TV shows do you like to watch? She goes, I don't watch TV, I read. Well, you're not reading Shakespeare, Becca. You're reading 50 Shades of Grey. There's so much trash on TV. Oh, and Twilight won a Pulitzer. Okay. So I got out of the dating pool about 1.5 years ago. I got married. Thank you. I don't say I got remarried because that sounds like I married my ex again, which I know people do, but I don't get it. Like getting back together with your ex is like drinking sour milk, throwing up, and then having more sour milk to get the taste of puke out of your mouth. No, it's my second marriage, but I don't like calling her my second wife because that just sounds like I'm collecting them. Like I have people over and I say, hey, check out my wife collection. What? No, I got them all used. Yeah, the ones that look better on the outside are actually damaged on the inside, so. It was our second marriage, so we didn't do anything like traditional. We didn't have like a big wedding or anything like that. We just went to the courthouse and we didn't do a lot of the traditional things. Like there's this one traditional thing where like the father gives the bride away. Like you're merging farms in the old days. It's like, who gives this woman? I do. I wanted to have something like that at a second marriage. I think you should do that. Like, who gives this woman? And her ex stands up and says, I do. Good luck, dude. Then my ex stands up and goes, she can have him. And then both of our exes burst into flames. I could get behind that tradition. No, and she took my name. So her name is Dylan White, and she's opened up a bunch of credit cards and bank accounts. I think I got scammed. No, she just took my last name, because that's what we need, more whites. Look, I'm white on the spectrum, that's what I say. Like on a scale of 1 to I gotta wear sunscreen indoors, I'll have the mild salsa. She's on the scale where she says things like, anywho. We got together, I found out she has a white noise machine to help her sleep. How does a white noise machine help you sleep? It's just a loop of, my name is Karen and I want to talk to a manager, over and over and over. Not relaxing at all. We have a friend, she decorates white. She decorates with words. She invited us over to her place for dinner, and on the front door it said home. The kitchen said cook, the dining room said eat, the family room said gather. I was afraid to go in the bathroom. Did not want to know what it said in there. I'm like, am I on Sesame Street? Why is every room in your house labeled? Do you wake up in the morning and go, who are all the people in these pictures? Oh, family, okay. What do I do here? Live, laugh, love. Got it. It was like having dinner at a Hobby Lobby. And she served us a very white dinner, too. She made us what she called a charcuterie board. So I'm expecting like a tray of these really cute sharks. But no, she brought out what looked like she had made sandwiches in the kitchen, left the sandwiches in the kitchen, and brought out everything that had fallen out while she was doing it. It's like, this isn't dinner. These are droppings for the dog. I gotta figure that's how the charcuterie board was invented. Like some sandwich shop in France had a major dinner rush and ran out of all their ingredients, and the head chef comes running in, and the head waiter comes running in and says, Chef, the most famous food critic in all of France is here to review you, and he wants you to make him something special. And the chef was like, Sacre bleu, what will we do? I know, take all these pieces of meat and cheese and give them to him. What, are you kidding? No, wrap them up and put them in order with frilly toothpicks. Give him grapes and pate for some reason. But chef, we're a sandwich shop. Cut up the heels of the bread, tell them they're crackers. Chef, we're out of plates. Give it to him on the cutting board for all I care. Chef, he's going to know these are scraps. Not if we charge 50 francs for it to give it a fancy name. Now go! But I kind of get, I don't like going over to other people's houses a lot of the time too, because I never know where anything is, it never quite smells right, and I don't know the shoe policy. You ever go to somebody's house and they ask you to take off your shoes? What are you, the TSA? And look, I travel a lot as a comedian, so I was on the road and somebody invited me over to their house and I got there and they asked me to take off my shoes. And without thinking, I took off my shoes. And my belt. I emptied my pockets into a little dish by the door and I stood in their living room like this. You ever go over to somebody's house and the place is immaculate? And they say, oh, sorry about the mess. So then you have to say something like, oh no, it looks amazing. Or you go over to somebody's house and it looks like Fred Sanford's front yard. And they say, oh, sorry about the mess. And you have to say, oh no, you should see my place. And inside you're thinking, I need a tetanus shot. That's when they say, would you mind taking off your shoes? Yes. Yes, I mind. And even if I didn't, I couldn't because they're stuck to your floor. Why is your house worse than a Waffle House? I kind of get the labeling of rooms thing now because I'm at that point where I will walk into a room and suddenly not remember why. And I won't say I forget. It's because the information is up there, my brain is a jerk and won't give me the password to access the file. I'll walk into a room and go, what did I walk into this room for? And my brain will be like, I know. Well, what is it? I'm not telling you. Go back in the other room. That'll help you remember. Going in one room to help you remember why you walked in the other room is the brain equivalent of turning it off and turning it back on again. So I will walk into the other room and find myself going, what did I walk into this room for? And I'll go back and forth like that for 15 minutes, and the whole time I'm going, hot dogs, Armour hot dogs, the kinds of kids like Armour hot dogs. Anybody remember this jingle? Fat kids, skinny kids, kids who climb on rocks, nothing? Nobody? Yeah, you do remember? Yeah, because I can't remember what I did 15 seconds ago, but I can remember the Armour hot dog jingle from 50 years ago. What is that about, brain? You're not helping me. You couldn't make that commercial today, by the way. The songwriter would get canceled immediately. Are you kidding? He'd show up to the meeting and all the Armour hot dog people would be like, oh, you wrote us a jingle? All right, go ahead, let's hear it. Here we go. Hot dogs. Oh, good. He's got the product right up front. We know exactly what this is going to be. All right, here we go. Armour hot dogs. Ooh, he's got the branding in there. He put the name in. This is going to be an excellent jingle. I love this. What kinds of kids like Armour hot dogs? Diversity. We're going to learn about all the different kids who like our product. Fat kids. Stop. You can't say fat kids. Why not? Well, it's offensive to fat people. Okay, what if I just say big kids? That could mean, you know, size, height, age, anything like that. All right, that'll be a good placeholder. We'll just keep it like that for now. What kinds of kids like Armour hot dogs? Big kids, skinny kids. Stop. You can't say skinny kids. Why? Because it's offensive to skinny people? No, fat people again, actually. Well, what if I say little kids? It's like, no, that's offensive to little people. You mean midgets? Did you just say the M word? Get out of my office! Get out of my office! Crazy. So my brain is a jerk. All the other organs of my body are invested in keeping me alive. My lungs are like, let's breathe in oxygen. My heart is like, let's pump that oxygen to the rest of your body. My stomach is like, let's turn food into fuel. And my brain is like, drive into that pole. This is what's called an intrusive thought, if you've ever had something like this. Like, I'll be driving down the street and I'll be coming up to an intersection and there's like 4 people in the crosswalk. Yeah, instead of thinking stop, my brain goes 40 points. So it's not helping my other organs. And I'm an organ donor, as far as I know. Because I'll be dead when they do it. I can't give my organs now, I'm using them. I can't just donate my lungs to charity. I mean, sure, somebody might breathe a little easier, but I won't. No? Okay, that's fine. We'll edit around that one. I can't be driving along, you know, and have some like homeless guy at the end of the intersection just going, you know, anything helps. I'm like, sorry, dude, I don't have any cash. Here's my pancreas. So I don't know if I should really be donating my organs because they're not really working that well for me. Like, I'm at a point where I have to turn down the volume to see better. You get what I'm saying? I have to adjust what's going into my ears to better process what's going in my eyes. What sense does that make? I mean, it makes a little sense. Like, if I'm listening to a song I really like, I'll close my eyes. But where does it stop? Is it going to be like, hey, let's go wine tasting? All right. Honey, smell my new shampoo. Okay. It's terrible. The only place I should be donating my organs is to Goodwill. Somebody's going to be thrifting and go, look at all this old stuff. There's a typewriter, a VCR, and Dylan's kidney. Too bad it's not the pair. All right. My brain is not my friend. It gives me horrible anxiety. My brain tells me that everything is dangerous and I should be scared of everything. It's awful. I get terrible social anxiety. Like, I don't understand Ariel from The Little Mermaid. I want to be where the people are. Why? I think the State Farm jingle should be like a good neighbor, leave me alone. I could roll up to a gas station on fumes, and if the pump says, please see cashier, I will push my car to another station. That's why I use the self-checkout at the store, too, so I don't have to interact with anybody until I make a mistake. And then it says assistance is on the way, and I'm like, I don't need food. Was at the self-checkout, it asked me to leave a tip. Yeah. And I don't like tipping. I think it's extremely cruel to cows. No, I'm very much for tipping, especially tipping your staff here tonight because they're incredible. No, the self-checkout asked me to leave a tip. I'm like, for who? For me, because I just did all the work. So I took a $5 bill out of my pocket and put it in my other pocket. If I'm gonna give somebody money for work that I did, I'd pay my taxes. I paid my taxes. Because they're probably listening to this right now. We don't pay anything else the way we pay our taxes. Isn't it ridiculous? Could you imagine going to Target and having them ring up all of your items and them just standing there just going, how much do I owe you? Guess. Don't you know? Oh yeah, it's all right here. Are you gonna tell me? Nope. Okay, well how about if I just give you some money? That'd be good. What if I give you too much money? Oh, we'll give you some back. How do I know you're giving me the right amount back? Trust us. What if I don't give you enough money? Jail. Doesn't make any sense. So I'm not gonna tip myself at the self-checkout, but I figure, it's a reward for doing a good job or something like that. So I just looked at myself right in that security camera. Good work today. Lot of hustle, really liked it. You deserve a break. Matter of fact, you are the self-checkout employee of the month. Yeah. I have my picture at the front of the store now. I put it there. But they haven't taken it down, so I've been the self-checkout employee of the month for 6 months now. Thank you. It's pretty great. But yeah, my anxiety is terrible. Keeps me up at night, right? Like, my depression will have the day shift. My anxiety has the night shift. I'll go to bed and my anxiety will come up to me like a wine sommelier at a fancy restaurant. It'll be like, welcome to bed. Can I interest you in some past traumatic memories? Or our specials of some catastrophic future scenarios? I'll have a past traumatic memory, please. The 87 Erin Holmes laughed at me when I invited her to prom. That sounds good. Excellent choice, sir. 87 was a very traumatic year. Pairs very nicely with our shark cutie board. So I've always telling my therapist about it. She said I have acute anxiety. I'm like, aw. I don't know if that's appropriate, but thank you. She prescribed me antidepressants. I'm like, what's the point of that? I'm not pro-depressant. That's why I'm here. I just don't like drugs. Like, I'll take an ibuprofen for a headache or something like that, but I just don't do drugs. And if you do, hey, I'm not judging you. I just don't do it myself. But I do like that marijuana is legal here in Arizona, just because I can't wait for them to start selling it in bulk at Costco. Because I want to see the line for the sample table on Saturdays. Some old lady in a hairnet and a name tag just rolling fatties. Doobies. Fresh rolled doobies. Only $4.20. Can you imagine if you got edibles at Costco? That'd be amazing. It'd be like this big 25-pound bag of edibles. You bring that over to somebody's house for a party, they're like, whoa, what is that, indica, sativa? Huh, Kirkland. Yeah. I actually did get stoned for the first time last year. It was a kidney stone, but still, first time. No, I really did, though, because it is the worst pain ever. If you've ever had a kidney stone, it is worse. They say it's worse than childbirth. And I believe that because a woman will give birth to twins and 2 months later say, I can't wait to have another one. No one has ever passed a kidney stone and said, I can't wait to have another one. The pain was so bad, they gave me a morphine drip that didn't work. Yeah, so they gave me another morphine drip that didn't work. So then they gave me fentanyl. That worked. But if I had known they were getting me fentanyl at the hospital, I wouldn't have gone. I've just gone around behind a Circle K. It's a lot more convenient. They don't take paperwork. It's nice. They asked me if I wanted a CAT scan of my visit while I was there. And I said, yeah, I want a copy of my CAT scan. They're like, great, what's your fax number? My what? I don't have a fax machine. I might as well have a time machine to go back to 1993 to get your fax. Like, all right, fine, we'll give it to you another way. We'll give it to you on a CD. have nothing to put a CD in except the garbage. I don't have a CD player. I don't have a CD port on my computer. I don't even have one of those CD racks that you used to have that like went like this. Remember that? I don't have one of those either. I don't want your technology. I don't trust a doctor where all of your technology is 30 years old. Why are you giving me my medical information on the same media I used to listen to the Backstreet Boys? I don't want it that way. It's awful. My therapist has been very helpful, I will say this. Like when I first met her, telling her about my anxiety and everything like that, she goes, well, what do you do? I said, well, I get up every morning with a sense of impending doom and regret for the past and hopelessness for the future, but I put a smile on my face and do that for about 14 hours at a time. She said, no, what do you do for work? I said, you don't think that sounds like work? No, really, what do you do? I said, I'm a stand-up comedian. And she said, oh, how long have you been a stand-up comedian? Can't win. No, it's really great having a therapist because she asked me do you have any suicidal thoughts? And I said, no more than usual. She said, so none? I'm like, okay, way more than usual. But I don't anymore, too. Look, I was on the suicide hotline one time, and it was fantastic. It really helped. Yeah, I was on the suicide hotline for 90 minutes, and the whole time, they just kept reassuring me that my call was very important to them. Really meant a lot right here. Yeah, no, I have no more suicidal thoughts. I say this publicly so there are witnesses. Because if anything does happen to me, that means that you know that I had information that would lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton. I'm just saying, you don't know the mental struggles anybody is dealing with. You don't know what battles people are fighting up here. So just be kind to one another, right? I mean, you could meet somebody tomorrow who lost a loved one, or who can't afford rent or groceries, or who is married to my ex-wife. You just don't know. And it's something simple, too. Just like a smile is the simplest thing you can give somebody to be kind. It can turn somebody's day around. I'll give you an example. I used to be the conductor of the Hogwarts Express at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios Hollywood. Yeah, I needed 2 business cards for that job title to fit that in there. And I hated that job. Yeah, all I did, I stood in front of the Hogwarts Express, I stood in front of the train, and it's right at the entrance to the land, and I would greet people as they came in and say goodbye to them as they left. I was a Walmart greeter with a British accent. That's all it was. And I hated it so much that I wished magic was real and that train would come to life and run me over. But now a lot of times people would want to take pictures with me and the train, right? So I do that, but now a lot of tourists at Universal Studios, there are a lot of foreign tourists, a lot of them don't speak English. So it doesn't matter what you say to them as long as you're smiling. You could fake a smile, and that's fine. It's like when you're talking to a dog, it's like, you're so stupid. You're so stupid, but I love you. You're so stupid. You're the dumbest dog ever. And the dog will be like, I love you too. My favorite were the little Asian women who came up because they would be dressed like a Goodwill exploded all over them. And I would say things like, oh, hello, dear, lovely to see you. What an atrocious outfit you have on. Nice. And I'd say it with a smile, and they'd go, oh, thank you. And they'd smile back at me. And that would turn my fake smile into a real smile. But that's how it works. I would fake this smile, but then I'd get a genuine smile in response, and I would smile back genuinely at another genuine smile. Because it doesn't matter where you're from or what language you speak. Smiling is something we all understand. Smiling is universal. And if Universal ever uses that slogan, they owe me so much money. My name is Dylan White. You guys have been amazing. Thank you.